Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Jupiter's Bible Study. So I finished Job, and I don't think I realized how short the chapter was, where he was blessed back with livestock and children and his wealth. But now I'm in Psalms, and it's starting off really beautiful. And also, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any prayer requests, put it at the bottom in the comments, and I will go to God in prayer for you. So let's go into Psalms. Just get the Bible really fast. Because I'm also in Ezekiel. And whatever's being described in the beginning of Ezekiel, I cannot picture it because it has multiple hands, multiple heads. If you've read it, a head of an ox, a head of an eagle. So I am unsure what I'm reading, but then it goes into Ezekiel called to be a prophet. And so he was describing his vision of what he saw. And so, if I was to describe something and you was to describe something, it would be completely different. And so that was just his understanding. But there was a verse where I was like, that's interesting. Okay. Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 1. I'm going to start from there. And he said to me, Son of man, eat what is before you, eat this scroll, then go and speak to the people of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he gave me the scroll to eat. Then he said to me, Son of man, eat this scroll I'm giving you, and fill your stomach with it. So I ate it, and it tasted as sweet as honey in my mouth. Then he said to me, Son of man, go now to the people of Israel and speak my words to them. You are not being sent to a people of obscure speech and strange language, but to the people of Israel, not to many peoples of obscure speech and strange language whose words you cannot understand. Surely if I had sent you to them, they would have listened to you. But the people of Israel are not willing to listen to you because they are not willing to listen to me. And for all the Israelites are hardened and obstinate. But I will make you as unyielding and hardened as they are. I will make your forehead like the hardest stone, harder than flint. And I hadn't even read that part, but I was asking an elder, I said, did he literally eat the scroll? And that person was like, no, he read it. And that goes into that's a reminder that as we read the word, we are feeding our spirit. We're feeding it. Every time we go into the word, we feed it. Yes, we can listen to people, but we have to go to the word ourselves and read it and pray for understanding of the word. So I thought that was interesting because he said that, Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 3. So I ate it, and it tasted as sweet as honey in my mouth. And I don't know if anyone has ever gotten that feeling after they read the Bible. They just feel fulfilled. They feel good. I get that feeling. And especially when I'm feeling discouraged and down, the word lifts me up, and it may take a minute. I may not get that instantaneous. I may not feel it instantaneously, but I eventually feel encouraged, and I feel myself chipper up, and my faith is, I know that going to this word is building my faith and is building my belief in the word and in God and in his son, Jesus Christ. So I just wanted to read that from Ezekiel. So let's jump back to Psalms. I just want to read a couple that I highlighted. Psalms chapter 3, verse 4. Psalms chapter 4, verse 4. Tremble and do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. Offer the sacrifices of the righteous and trust in the Lord. You know, I used to have trouble sleeping. I still do. And it's that fear. It would creep up, and I usually sleep with my Bible right next to me still. And usually I read it, before I go to bed. And like last night I had on this movie, and I was like, you know what? I think that it's better to read and try to not have something playing in the background while I go to sleep. But just a reminder, the Bible app does have like an audio version, and it's pretty authentic. It's not too robotic. And what I like about it is it sounds out the words that I can hardly pronounce. Like the names of the tribes. It sounds it out, and so it's good because, usually I have to go back and reread something that I didn't, just to make sure that I'm understanding it. And if I just zoom past it and go to the next verses, it feels like I'm not following a story. But that could be used pairing with the rereading, is listening to it over and over. And maybe I'll try the Bible, playing out loud as I sleep. I think that I could try that, go on a book, and maybe it will, because I've been having these dreams, and they're really, I say weird. It's hard to understand, but some of it is familiar. And I'm just asked for prayer, for strength, prayer to go out and do the things that I need to do for myself and not be scared about things that I'll encounter, and not let hesitation and complacency set inside me, and just be brave. I'm still on a job hunt, and I don't want that to be like my center focus. I know that I have a purpose in this life, that a purpose to carry out God's will. And I want to prepare myself for that, and I don't want to have fear. And so as I go in this word and I read it, I know that He is preparing me. He is strengthening me. And I'm just humbled and gracious to God for everything that He's done for me in my life. How He continues to bless my family. I pray for all families all over the world. I pray for the world, people in third world countries that are going without food, shelter, water. I pray for relief for them. And it's like, I want to be more organized about things, but I know that sometimes thinking about being organized prevents me from actually just doing it, picking up the Bible, reading something, and letting it sink inside me, So I read to you Psalms chapter 4, verse 4. Tremble and do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your heart and be silent. So the next one that I highlighted is in Psalms 4, chapter 8. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. And then chapter 5, verse 3. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly. I have been trying to get up in the morning, and the very first thing I do is pray. And we have this automatic desire to touch the phone, whether to check the time or the notifications. Thankfully, I'm not on social media. I've thought about getting on social media, at least for this YouTube channel, but my numbers aren't up there, and I just don't want to be connected to things that are going to affect my relationship with God and me reaching out to God. I could say that I am not awkward. I could talk to people, but maintaining relationships, I just I don't know. I feel like I'm very careful about who I open up to, and so that I don't make any idols unbeknownst to me, and rely on friends instead of going to God, because I've had moments even before this where I didn't go to God, and I don't want to bring someone in my life, even as a friend, to rely more on them than God. I really want to strengthen my relationship with him. And so let's go to, and so in the morning, chapter 5, verse 3. In the morning, Lord, hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my request before you and wait expectantly. For you are not a God who is pleased with wickedness. With you, evil people are not welcome. The arrogant cannot stand in your presence. You hate all who do wrong. You destroy those who tell lies. The bloodthirsty and deceitful, you, Lord, detest. But I, by your great love, can come into your house. Okay. And then the last verse I wanted to go over before I end this video is Psalms 5, chapter 12. Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous and surround them with your favor as with a shield. I do believe that God surrounds me with a shield, and I am so thankful and grateful to him for just having protection over me and my family and the people that I call out to. If it's in his will, Lord, I pray that that God just continue to protect me as I'm on this journey of, building my relationship with him and having him more in my life, in my daily, and just incorporating him into everything, when I eat, when I sleep, when I go outside, when I come back, and when I'm driving, for travel grace and for safety. I just want to rely completely on him. And so I really hope that you guys got something from this video. I understand that, I'm probably getting a couple of views because I view it myself. I'm not going to lie. I do view the video myself so that I can be encouraged as well. On days where I feel down, I'll listen to myself and I'm like, okay, that's where I was at. And so it reminds me to keep going, keep pushing. And so I hope that, you get something out of this video. Be blessed and be a blessing.